one more thing.
What's happening, guys? I'm Matt Flex for All Ogus, and you are watching Matt Versus. Matt Versus is basically my personal journey, my adventure inside and outside the sport of natural competitive bodybuilding. Yo, if you can't tell by now, I'm all about living life to the fullest. That there bicep. But I'm also about helping motivate other people to reach for their goals and to enjoy doing it at the same time. Alright, it's the early AM hours of April. May 20th. Saying goodbye to Thursday, hello to Friday. Excited, it's my last workout deload day. Excited for next week's strength day. But I kind of actually felt great during this deload week. It's almost as if I feel like I lost the most amount of fat, just physique wise this week, and maybe I just noticed my cuts coming in more, but I don't know. I'm liking the way I feel this week, I'm liking the way I look this week. I'm gonna keep growing out this facial hair until it pisses me off. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. What's up, guys? It's May 20th, Friday, deload arm day. I'll hopefully get some footage, but also someone asked me to include the food I eat, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'll show you the amounts at this time. Alright, guys, meal number 1. We have a full organic egg, 275 grams of egg white, 90 grams of oats. This right here is irrelevant, that's green tea. Cinnamon, irrelevant, that's irrelevant. Over here, 2 pills of glucosamine, each has 2 carbohydrates. Actually, the serving, whatever the serving size, has 2 grams of carbs, so this might be just 2. 4 fish oil pills, each has 1 gram of fat, 10 calories. 4 CLA pills, each one, 10 calories, 1 gram of fat. And 2 New Chapters Organics, something like that. That's the brand name. Everyman vitamin pills, multivitamin, organic. I've been raising carbs pretty much every week, or almost every week. The reason is because I am losing sufficient amount of fat per week, and the thing about your carbs is you want them as high as possible while still losing, a good amount of fat. And the more hardcore, your fat loss is, the more muscle you'll be losing. So what we do is we add carbs if it seems like I am losing a good amount of weight still. So, if at one point we raise carbs and then I only lose like a half a pound, maybe we'll keep it at that, or maybe even lower the carbs a little bit. But we're just making small changes. So if you're wondering why I'm raising carbs every week, we're only raising it by like 10 grams. In the beginning it was like 25 or 10 or 15, but now, like, if it might be every other week, we might raise it, and only by a small increment, for a small change. We're not making huge changes, we're just making small ones. So that's the reason why why I have so many damn papers here, all because of changes. So some of these are duplicates, but like I probably made 4 to 5 carb changes, because in the beginning I was taking in like 200 actually, and then we raised by 25, and then we raised by 15, and then by 10, by 10, by 10, and we're just making these so I can spare as much protein as possible, spare as much muscle. I meant carbs are protein sparing, carbs are muscle sparing. So we're trying to keep as much muscle on me while I'm still losing a good amount of fat. I'm still losing a good amount of fat, so that's why we're keeping the carbs high. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna walk through the rest of my diet. So here's my pre-workout supplement. Right now I'm just taking Jack 3D until I change over to something without a banned substance. But don't worry about that. It's got 5 grams of BCAAs, so that's included in the diet. That's part of this shake, and this shake is 100 grams of banana. And it is 2 scoops of whey protein, coming out to about 48 grams of protein, and 6 carbs, 2.5 fat. This over here is 85 grams of rice, and that's brown, long grain, and weighed before cooking. It's also about 15 grams of almonds in there. Alright, so pretty much that is one meal. I drink this before I eat that, and I eat that maybe 20 minutes after, I let my body start digesting all that. That's 5 grams of creatine, goes in there, and there's also 5 grams of BCAAs. That's also counted in calories and in the diet itself. This over here is the next meal after that, and sometimes I'll work out after the first meal, that meal, and then make this my third meal. But I always have this one as my post-workout meal. So since I'm working out early, it goes in this order. This right here is 250 grams of potato and 5.5 ounces of chicken, weighed, cooked. Move on to the next meal. Over here is 6 ounces of fish, that's weighed after it's been cooked. We have 255 grams of sweet potato and 8 grams of olive oil, and also 100 grams of spinach. Definitely make sure that I wash it out before I eat that. And that right there is basically my diet for the day. I'll have ZMA before I go to bed. I might have a couple cups of green tea throughout the day. Anywhere between 1 and 3 gallons of water. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Really, really simple. This is what it is. So look at that if you need to, or if you want to. Where it says 0, it just means I'm not eating that. Since I switched over the way I cook, or the way I weigh my food, it says 0 for raw, 0 for raw, since I am weighing my stuff cooked. Understand? Well, cool. And that's the totals, for now at least, for regular days. From 9 to 8 weeks out, starting Sunday, May 15, 2011. Because that's when I made the most recent changes. Alright, there you go. Look at it, like seriously, I think that's the new Ford Taurus. Cool though, I mean, I like it. Alright my peeps, what's happening? Here's me training 8 weeks out from the Muscle Mayhem, 10 weeks out from the Washington. Both NA and VF competitions. I think this was during a deload week. I had a deload week every 7 weeks. I'm just doing some dumbbell curls. When it comes to, trying to get the biggest bicep as possible, of course, you want the regular barbell curl first and foremost, and definitely focusing on the main lifts, military, bench, dead, squat, etc. Here I am just doing a little bit of bicep right here again, forearm bicep. Brachialis, all that crap, I really don't care the names. I just know what it works, so. Here I am hitting it. I'm actually starting to get lean at this point, and this is when I really started to see changes. Right around 8 weeks, I was looking in the mirror, I was like, damn, I'm kind of looking lean. I've never really looked this lean before. So I was starting to break into new territory here. Here I'm trying something that I only did one set of because I didn't like it that much. Just basically, dumbbell skull crushers or dumbbell tricep extensions, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, I'm trying it in many different ways, trying to feel for my favorite kind, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't really like this. So I go and decide to do it on a decline, and I think this was my final set. The exercises that I chose to do, I did, multiple sets. And during my deload week, I dropped the volume so that I can kind of, give my body some active recovery. I dropped volume down to, the reps were all between 8 and 12. But unlike hypertrophy weeks where the total volume was from 40 to 60, my total volume in these weeks was from like 30 to 40 max.
So, and that's per body part. That means 40 total reps of that week, you know, in the working sets for, say, tricep or say chest, etc. And here I'm just finishing it up. I think I did 2 sets of this, maybe even 1. I'm not sure. But deload week, like I said. So low volume total. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Drop the weights. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode of Matt Versus. On the next episode, you could expect to see some cooking, some marinating chicken. And also, you can expect to see some self-reflection and possibly a chest workout. If not this next episode, the one after. So anyways, stay tuned. And make sure you're watching me, baby.